everyone, it's Monika Davis. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Milton, Georgia. And I wanted to share with you today our new 2025-2027 InColors. And I'm going to show you a new kit called the Paper Bouquet Kit that uses all the new InColors. So I'm going to show you that at the end, but first I want to talk a little bit about our new InColors. Every year we get 5 new InColors, and this year the 5 new colors are Cloud Cover, which is a pale blue, Darling Duckling, which is a yellow, Secret Sea, which is a very dark blue, Strawberry Slush, which is like a pinky color, and then Timid Tiger is an orange. So those are our 5 new colors. Here's kind of a chart showing cardstock samples, ink pad samples, and marker samples. We will also have ribbon and Stampin' blends, and these are some flat pearls in those 5 colors. So these are the InColor flat pearls, the Strawberry Slush, the Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, and the Secret Sea. So that's our new embellishment. We will have, of course, cardstock and designer series paper. A new 2-toned cardstock will also come in all the colors. We have a assorted pack of the Stampin' Right markers that you can get. You'd get all 5 markers. The Stampin' blends will come in pairs where there's a light and dark version of each color. We have ink pads. So we have Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Secret Sea. We found out this week that there is not going to be a full-size ink pad for the Cloud Cover cardstock. So there is apparently a chemical reaction between the ink and the foam that we use in our full-sized ink pads, which can cause the color to shift and not stay within the parameters that Stampin' Up! Wants this color to stay in. So it's this pale blue. So the option is, there is actually a set of ink spots in the catalog where there is a Cloud Cover ink spot already made, but it's a set of 5, so there's 5 other colors, but they're not the InColors. Or you can buy these. These are called the uninked Stampin' spots, and these are not foam. These are actually still linen, and the ink does not seem to have that same reaction with a linen pad as it does with that foam pad. So the refills will be available, and then these little inked spots or these uninked spots will be available. They do come in a set of 5, and I know most people won't necessarily need 5. So I do plan to do an InColor club, and if you do join the InColor club, you will get one of these little spots with the Cloud Cover ink. You can also use your Stampin' Right marker to ink up your stamps and get the Cloud Cover ink. So that's what this is here. I guess I should have brought a stamp. Let's see, do I have one nearby? Let's see if I can just grab a quick stamp and we can maybe do that real quick. So usually works best with a line art stamp. Let me see if I can find a line art stamp. To find something. I should have been more prepared. Let's see if we can, maybe we can do this little bird. So if you use your marker, I kind of used the fat tip. This one's very light, so it's hard to see. Kind of brush the edge. I think I got it all. I mostly got it. So you can use this a little bit, but the ideal thing would be to use one of the ink spots. I don't have the ink refills yet. That wasn't something we could pre-order, so I can't really show that to you right now. I'll have to show you that later. So if you need more information about that cloud cover ink, you can just ask me questions. I'll do my best to answer. So I thought we would compare some of these colors. So this is cloud cover compared to the old Seaside Spray. Here it is against Balmy Blue, against Pool Party. Now we're getting into more green, so we really don't have a blue like that one. This is the boho blue that just retired. So Timid Tiger, this is it compared to Pumpkin Pie. It's kind of in between Pumpkin Pie. That's the old Grapefruit Grove. Here's the Peach Pie. Calypso Coral. So it is different than our other colors. Let's see, Strawberry Slush. That's Flirty Flamingo. It's not like Pretty in Pink. That's our old Polished Pink. That's Melon Mambo, so it's different. The Secret Sea, when I first saw it, it looked black to me, but if you compare it to black, you can see that it is not black. It is truly a very dark blue. It isn't a black. Here it is against Night of Navy. And let's see, Misty Moonlight. So it is a very dark, dark blue. The Darling Duckling. That's our old Pineapple Punch. This is Lemon Lolly. And that is Daffodil Delight. So really not the same. That was Wild Wheat. So they are different from any of the colors we have. So they are new. Strawberry Slush was an InColor about 10 years ago. So that's one that's actually returned. So if you have some really old, I don't have any more of the old Strawberry Slush. It's going to be similar to that. All right, so those are the InColors. And this kit called the Paper Bouquet Kit uses the 5 InColors. And what I wanted to do is, so these instructions, when you open them up like this, you actually start on this page. And it's got a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it has 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 different things, and then here's kind of the instructions on how to put one together. It took me a minute to figure out what was happening in the instructions, so I wanted to explain them to you. So you get a bunch of, it's like tissue paper, and I've already punched all mine out, but you get different tissue paper for these different flowers, and also the little leaf bottoms. And then these pieces are more like a crepe paper. I've already pulled all mine out. So these are my negative, these are my leftovers. But I wanted to show you on this piece, and let's see if I can grab a yellow one. Oh, well, there's the Darling. This is the Secret C. Okay, here's the Darling Duckling. And if you look at these, because when I looked at the instructions, you know, it shows these, this is a small and this is a large. And I couldn't tell until I punched these out that there were two different sizes. So there's a large strip and then there's smaller strips. And that's true on the Secret C and on the Darling Duckling, the large one, and then you've got smaller ones. So pay attention to that. And when you punch these out, you kind of want to be gentle with them. So what these instructions are telling you is how many of each flower you're going to make. So this one is the white flower, and you're going to make, you need 8 sets of 3 white flowers. You need 8 of those shorter Darling Duckling crepe paper strips. These represent these beads. So you've got the yellow beads and the blue. These are like Secret C. That's not quite Darling Duckling, but it's yellow. And then you've got 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you have 8 of these little bits. So that's your white flower. Your yellow flower, you need 3 yellow pieces times 3 sets of 3. You've got, oh, and these are your wire flower stems. You've got 3 times your little crepe paper, 3 beads, and 3, there's 2 sizes. I don't know what to call this piece. There's 2 sizes of this piece. So if I show you that, see there's a larger one and a smaller one. So this is the smaller size. This is the larger size. That's the large, and these 2 use the small. So I found it easiest to take all these pieces and kind of set them up. These are leaf pieces. This is like a thicker cardboard, and then these down here are like a crepe paper. And the instruction sheet says there's 3 of these, but I actually had 5 in my kit. I don't know if everybody has 5, but I've got 2 extras, and I do have some extras of these wires, so I will plan to make up my extra 2 leaves. So I want to kind of, I'm going to move the camera for a second just so you can see how I sorted everything. So these are my 8, I already made one of each. So I have my 8 white flowers. These were the 3 yellow flowers. You've got the 3 large pink flowers. Those are all my leaves. Then I had the cloud cover, the small, I guess I should call them strawberry slush, and then the large Timid Tiger. All right, let me set you back down. Sorry about that movement. So I kind of sorted and laid everything out according to the pictures before I started trying to make these. And I've gone ahead and made one of each type of flower so I could show you a finished one. They all are basically following the same method for putting them together. You're going to want a bone folder. you're going to want some type of like needle-nosed pliers type of tool. And then you're going to want a hot glue gun. Now I have a hot glue gun, and I have it on the table behind me. You may want to use a low temp hot glue gun if you have one, so that you don't burn your fingers, because I have to be careful not to burn my fingers. So let me grab, we're going to start, the picture they're showing you is the yellow flower, which on this diagram is flower number 2. I'm going to make a number 1 flower, which looks like this. So it's cute. So I have that. That's my finished one. So what I need is 3 of the white flower pieces. I need 1 of the short Darling Duckling crepe pieces. I think this is garden green. A bead. A stem. I think I'm pretty sure the reason they showed the yellow one is because the white is just hard to see in the example, and it's hard to see on my sheet. All right, so this is how you put them together. Let me just show you. See these instructions? So it tells you the first thing you want to do is take your wire and you want to bend it over like this. You're going to bend that over. You're going to take the bead. You're going to put the bead on here. And then it's showing you to use this tool. I found for me it was easiest. I just hold it like this and then twist it with my fingers. I found that easier than trying to use the tool. But that's personal preference. So you kind of want this bead up here at the top and twist that around. Okay. And then the next step is you're going to add this piece right here. But before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and do this part, which is to curl all my petals. So take a bone folder. You want to be gentle because this is thin. And you're just going to I hold my thumb on the paper and just pull, and it curls. It's very light because this is thin, so you're just barely holding your thumb there so that you can pull across, and it will curl the petals. Okay. Now if you had something thicker like cardstock, it would need a little more pressure, but this is very, very, very light pressure to curl this tissue paper. It's like tissue paper. Okay, so that's what this step is showing you. And I'm just curling all of these petals. So those are the white flowers, and then you also are going to curl this little flower, the stem part. Okay, so there's that. All right, I'm going to reach behind me and add a dot of glue on here, hot glue. So I have a dot of hot glue. I'm going to start curling this around the bead. And like I said, my hot glue gun is one of those really hot glue guns. So trying to make sure that I don't burn my fingers. And what I'm going to go back and do is add a couple of little dots of glue. So I can keep going. So I've got a little more hot glue, and you're just gonna kind of go all the way around. If I jump, that means I probably touched the hot glue. I'm trying not to. So a low temp hot glue gun would probably be a better bet. All right. So this is kind of the center of the flower. So that is this step. I already did the curling. And then on this part, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue, and I'm going to put these on. So I've added a dot of glue there. And I'm going to string this on here. I do have to get it over where the twisted double part is. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of form that around the center. And then now we'll repeat that. So there's our second layer. And then we're going to add one more layer. You know, hot glue makes a mess. I don't know how well this video is going to turn out. All right. After the glue cools, then you can get rid of, you know, you get all that, all these strings. Have to clean all those up later. All right, so we have the petals, and then the last one is that. I'm just using that so my finger didn't touch that hot glue. All right, so there is the white flower. So you have 8 of these white flowers to make. So that's what those look like. So I've got 2 of my 8 done. All right, that's flower number 1 was the white one. Flower number 2 is the yellow one. So here's the yellow one. So the yellow one uses, this is Darling Duckling. We're using the secret C for the center. We have our bead. And all our petals. I have no idea what kind of flowers these are, but they're flowers, paper flowers. All right, we're starting with our bead. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and gently curl my leaves, or my petals, I should say. I'm happy we have a new yellow. I'm actually excited that we have some more yellow Stampin' Blends because I think we only had Daffodil Delight in Stampin' Blends. I guess maybe the Lemon Lolly, but that's just a really light yellow. So I'm excited to have Darling Duckling. Okay, we have to add our centerpiece. Without burning our fingers. So I would not call this a kid-friendly project because of the hot glue. Just go winding this around. If you want to kind of do those with your fingers or start adding our petals. So we have one. And another one. So it's starting to look like that. And now we have a flower like this, and then we'll add that part. And there's the yellow flower. So now I've got two of the yellow ones done. I think my second one ended up better than the first one. All right, then we have the large pink one, which uses the larger Darling Duckling crepe paper, 2 strawberry slush large flowers, one of the large green pieces, and another stem. I feel like my first couple were not very good. Maybe it gets better as you go along. So remember, gently pull these because you don't want to tear petals off. So this is a bouquet of flowers that you don't need to water. So therefore, they can't die on you or turn brown or fall off. I guess maybe they could fall over, but you know what I mean. All right, that piece. Let's start with our middle. Okay, we're wrapping around where that bead was. Just kind of added some glue, that hot glue. This has just got a fatter center portion. Okay, we'll add the glue and add the petals. Sorry, it's just hot. And this one just has 2 layers of petals. And then that part. So you can see we're just repeating the same process for each flower. There's that one. All right, those are the pink ones. The large strawberry slush, I keep saying pink. Okay, let me show you some of these leaves. Okay, I'm going to show you how I did the crepe paper leaves first. So for these, and this is the instructions here. Instructions. So for these, what I did was I kind of folded that in half, and I'm going to put the hot glue right there. So I've got hot glue here. I'm going to stick this in here. I did mine this way. I think they did theirs on the back, where they glued it to the back, but I kind of thought, for me, that kind of looked real to me. So I've done them like this. So I've got another one of those, and then I've got 2 extra ones. And since I have 2 extra wires, I'm going to plan on making some more of those. All right, now this one. So this one this is a thicker paper, and these are already scored. So what you want to do is kind of fold on the score line that's there to give these some shape. So you've got it like that. And then add some glue to the back. And then add that wire. And you can reshape those leaves. And that gives you that leaf. And then the third type of leaf is this one. And again, this one has the score marks on it. And I'll add the glue there. And then you've got the leaf like this. So that's that leaf. So we've done a white, a yellow, a white, darling duckling, strawberry slush, the 3 types of leaves. Now we've got a cloud cover flower that looks like this with the secret C in the middle. And our secret C bead. This one has 3 petals. So this is a home decor kit. And gosh, I should have looked the price up. I'll put that in the description. I don't think it was very much. So be gentle when you put this on, because this is crepe paper, so you could, if you pull too hard, you'll tear it. Now you could save your, you know, the pieces where you punched it out, and you could create a piece out of that leftover if you accidentally ripped something. Sorry, I keep going away. All right, we're gonna add the hot glue at the bottom. Will start to come together. Two. Here's number 3. You could make this up for Mother's Day if you needed to. Use these for centerpieces. All right, and the last piece. This one got a little messy. I was trying to be fast. I would suggest taking your time so you're not quite as messy as I am. And then if you need to add a little curl, in here. All right, there's our cloud cover flowers. We've got another strawberry slush. I like that one. I'm gonna skip down to the Timid Tiger one, which is a large one. On this one, the instructions say just show 2 petals plus your strip in this piece, but I had enough of these to use 3 on each one of them, so this is done with 3, and I think the photo looks more to me like they used 3 layers rather than 2, so I'm not sure if it was an oversight that there should have been 3 pictured here versus 2, but my kit had enough to do 3 petals on all 3 flowers, so that is what I'm doing. And then I think it left me with still 1 more petal left over, so I guess you could use 4 layers on one of yours. Or if you only wanted to do 2, there is an extra bead. There is also an extra flower stem and an extra one of these. You could just make a 4th flower. You'd have to use a scrap out of your piece. So what I mean by that is to take Like you could take this piece right here and just cut cut that loose, and that's almost exactly the same as the real one. So that would give you an extra piece of that. But that is not, I'm gonna just do the 3 flowers with the 3 layers instead of 4 flowers. All right, one more. I have to come back and make the rest of my flowers and show you the full vase. So you get 8 white ones, 3 yellow, 3 darling duckling, 3 large strawberry slush, 3 cloud cover, 3 small strawberry slush, and then the 3 timid tiger ones. Plus you've got 9 leaves, plus I had 2 extra leaves. So that gives you your whole bouquet. Your whole bouquet of flowers. So let's finish this guy. I have to get used to saying the new InColors. Ouch. Hot glue gun. You could do this with our liquid glue, but you would have to, give it some drying time. Okay, let's see. We can finish up. You can kind of squish this up a little more if you want. All right, so our new catalog starts on May the 6th. That's when all the new InColor stuff will be available. The kit is already available, but the rest of the InColor stuff is available May 6th. I am going to do an InColor club probably starting in June. So I've been doing that a few years, and I will do that again. I just kind of like this one better with the extra layer. So be sure you're in my group page, my Stampin' Up Facebook group, or on my email list. I'll try to get that in an email. All right, Timid Tiger flowers. Let me just add, so anyway, here's a start of the bouquet. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, my camera's too close. Woo! That's some of the flowers. So once I get everything in there, it should be pretty full, I think. Maybe I need to, I'm not sure what's gonna happen if I zoom out. Oh, now you see a lot of stuff. All right, there we go. That's what we did today with our new InColors. You can order those. If you don't want to be a part of the InColor Club, you can order those starting May 6th. I'll probably start the InColor Club early June. You can probably see my feet. Whoa, there we go. All right, let me take these out. Maybe I just hold them like this. I'll just lay those down. All right. I hope you liked seeing how that comes together. And I will finish the rest of my flowers and show you a photo of the finished bouquet. All right. Thank you, friends. See you next time. Bye.